Alright folks, welcome back. Welcome back to another gear review. In this gear review, we're going to be going over the Striker ice rod carrying case. I've had this for just about a full season up here in Maine. I bought this in the fall and I've had it on the ice at least once a week, sometimes twice. And I'm just going to be doing a quick review, on the bag itself, all the features, the pockets. And at the end, I'm going to talk about if I think it's worth $150 that they're asking for it. So we're going to start here on this end. This has two of these flaps here, nice solid zippers, Velcro flap, which exposes your rod locker. And what we have is three tubes here, 1, 2, 3. And we have to go over to this side to get at the other two, which are right here. So you have 5 total. I'm going to go back to this side. So I have 2 of my rods stored in here. This one is a 28-inch ultralight. This one is a 26 ultralight. This one is a noodle blank. And one thing I really like about this is these durable tubes here. These things really help to protect your rods when you put them in. And that's obviously why I bought this, to protect the rods that I made. And I've made all these rods that you've seen, so I've really wanted to protect these. That's why I went with this case. And these go in pretty easy. Them are a pretty good size tube. They can accommodate a pretty good size guide. And I get asked a bunch if this thing will really hold 5 rods. Will it hold 5? Yes. I feel like 4 is more comfortable. So what I normally do is I fish with 3 rods, sometimes 4. And what I do is I'll put 2 in. I'll put 2 in one side, and I'll spin this around, and I'll put my 36 solo on the other side. So there's my smaller rods. And I'll spin this around. And what I'll do is I'll put my 36. And what I'll do is I'll put my 36 in on this side solo. I find that works pretty good. And sometimes I'll put another one over here on this side. So what I do is I try to do 2 and 2. I'm sure if you had 5 and you really wanted to squeeze them, you could. But I find that 4 sit in there pretty comfy. All right, guys, next thing we're going to talk about is a pretty important one. They advertise this to hold a 38-inch rod, which it will if you have a short little stubby handle on it. This is a handmade rod that I made, and the blank was 36 inches, which goes all the way down to about here. So we're probably pushing a 37-inch rod. And I can barely get this rod stored in here. It's close. It's tight because of the handle. So that's pretty much maxed out. I can barely get that in there, and I'm actually... There, I got it. So, a 38 will fit. But something you have to keep in mind is if you have a 36, a 37, a 38-inch rod, and it has a long handle, you may have a hard time fitting it in the rod locker. But like I said, this one will squeeze in, but just something to keep in mind that it's going to be tight. All right, so moving on. We have 4 of these oversized pockets here, 2 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4 over there. And these pockets are completely identical. So I'll just show you these 2. You can fit anything in here. This is where I keep all my hooks, line, and leader. And this side over here is where I keep my jigs. I have some pliers down there. So I like these. You can fit a ton of gear in them. And now we're moving up here. This is what I really like. This pocket here, you can fit a ton of stuff in here for gear. Small ice rods. If you have them small ice traps, you can put in there. You can put clothes in there. It's just a good universal pocket. And it came with this nice sturdy strap, which is always good. It's pretty handy. And I haven't used it this way, but these do have some zippers on the back that you can pull out backpack straps in case you want to carry it like a backpack. I've never done that. I don't plan on it, but it's there if you feel like you want to go that route. So that's pretty much the basics of the bag, guys. It's pretty simple. It's really easy. It's a really easy, nice system. And here's the bag sitting in an extra large jet sled. So this takes up quite a bit of room. But you kind of got to expect that. It holds 5 rods. A bunch of gear. So I don't say that's a downfall personally. I feel like that's something you should expect when you buy this, is that it's going to take up a lot of room. All right, guys. So the big question: is this worth $150 they asked for? I got this a little cheaper than that. I got it on a pretty good sale in the fall. So is it worth the $130, $140, $150? In my opinion, it is. When you're talking ice rods, you know, when you're talking 3, 4, 5 ice rods, you're talking quite a bit of money. You know, especially if you have real expensive ice rods, it's really good to have something that's solid and sturdy to protect them. I got into jigging, I think 3 seasons ago, and within the first month I broke 2 or 3 tips. And if you get into breaking a couple of the expensive rods, it racks up fast. So in my opinion, going out and spending some money on a nice case will just save you money in the long run. I mean, this case has really nice zippers. You know, the zippers I don't see failing anytime soon. I feel like it's just a real quality product. I haven't had one problem with it. I haven't had one problem with the zippers. I haven't had one problem with it so far, with the exception of that 36, 37-inch rod barely squeezing in. With the exception of that, I feel like this thing's been solid. So in my opinion, if you're looking at dumping some money on a real nice ice rod case, I feel like this is a good option. If you're looking at an option where you want some rod protection plus some ability to bring gear, I feel like this one's hard to beat. There you have it, guys. There's my review on the Striker ice rod case. I feel like it's a good option, so if you guys are looking at it, I want to give you the green light. If you guys have any further questions, feel free to ask. If you guys have this case and you want to leave some feedback in the comments, feel free. But we're going to sign off there, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.